I don't know what you're talking about. Don't do that.
I'm scared.
Jesus Christ.
Michael is driving through a quiet road that cuts through a forest, heading toward his friend's house hidden deep in the woods. The tall trees sway in the wind as sunlight flashes across his windshield. But when he arrives, something terrible catches his eyes. His friend is surrounded by a group of gangsters, rough men armed with guns and bats. They've robbed his friend and are beating him mercilessly. Before Michael can even shout for help, the gangsters pull out their guns and start firing non-stop. Bullets echo through the forest. In that terrifying moment, Michael watches his best friend collapse to the ground, lifeless. The sight breaks his heart. His whole world feels shattered. The pain of losing someone he's known all his life fills him with rage and sorrow. From that moment on, he makes a decision. He will take revenge on those gangsters, no matter what it takes. Welcome back to Movie Unlimited. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie begins in the year 2050, a time when the world has completely changed. Something strange and horrifying has happened to humanity. For an unknown reason, no woman on Earth can give birth anymore. The human race has become infertile. Because of this, there are no children left anywhere in the world. Every person on Earth is either an adult or elderly. The future seems empty and hopeless. People are living in fear, and nations are slowly falling apart. Governments all around the world are panicking. They know that if no new babies are born, humanity will soon go extinct. People marry, hoping to have families, but no matter how hard they try, no child is ever born. The world has turned into chaos. Wars break out across countries as humans fight humans and even rebel against their own governments. The streets are filled with smoke, and the sound of explosions never seems to stop. In this dark world, powerful weapons, the kind that haven't been used for a century, are now being unleashed again. Cities crumble, and millions lose their lives. The hope for a new generation is gone, and all that's left is survival. Only a few people still work normal jobs. Many others turn to crime, stealing just to stay alive. It's a grim and hopeless time for mankind. Among these people is a man named Michael, a kind-hearted and quiet man who tries to stay out of trouble. Years ago, before the world changed, Michael was married. He and his wife even had a son, a little boy who meant everything to them. But tragedy struck. One day, their son was killed in a car accident. The loss destroyed their hearts. And when the world stopped having children, the pain became even worse. The couple eventually separated, broken by grief and the hopelessness of the new world. Since that day, Michael has lived alone. He has no wife, no child, and no family. But he does have one loyal friend, Jack. Jack is always there for him. The two of them live far away from the chaos of the city, deep in the woods where life is a little quieter. Michael works as an accountant, trying to keep a normal routine in a world that's anything but normal. One morning, he leaves his home and heads to work. But on the way, something strange happens. A group of masked men suddenly surround him. Before he can react, they grab him, tie his hands, cover his face, and throw him into a car. When they stop, Michael finds himself in a dark room. Confused and frightened, he demands to know what's going on. Then, to his surprise, someone walks in. It's his ex-wife. Michael is shocked to see her after so many years. She quickly apologizes for kidnapping him and explains that she didn't mean to scare him. She only did this because she desperately needs his help. She tells him that she and a few of her friends are in danger. They've made many enemies and can't live safely in the country anymore. They need to escape, but they don't have legal papers to leave. Michael listens carefully. His ex-wife explains that he knows someone who works at the immigration office, someone who can help make fake travel documents for them. At first, Michael doesn't know what to say. But seeing her so desperate and remembering how much he once loved her, he finally agrees. He promises to help her. Using his connections, Michael gets the documents ready as quickly as he can. When they're done, he personally delivers them to her and her friends. His wife is grateful and thanks him sincerely for what he's done. Together, they all get into a car, Michael, his ex-wife, and her friends. They plan to drop him off after the meeting. But as they drive down a quiet road, something horrifying happens. Out of nowhere, another group of gangsters appears and blocks their path. Gunshots ring out as chaos erupts. Michael's ex-wife had warned him that she had enemies, and now those enemies have found her. Before anyone can react, they shoot her. She's hit badly. The car spins out of control, crashing into a ditch. When the gunfire stops, everything falls silent. Michael rushes to her side, but it's too late. His ex-wife dies in his arms. Everyone in the car is in shock. Michael feels a deep pain in his chest as he realizes that she was telling the truth all along. She really was in danger. Before she took her last breath, she made him promise one thing: to help her friends escape the country safely. Michael, overwhelmed with guilt and love, vows to keep that promise no matter what. Now, her friends have no idea what to do. They're scared and lost. So, Michael takes charge. He tells them they must hide until it's safe to move again. They drive deep into the forest and find an old, abandoned house. There, they decide to stay for the night. The atmosphere is quiet but heavy. Everyone sits in silence, mourning the woman they lost and trying to plan their next move. Michael heads to his bedroom, exhausted and ready to sleep. But suddenly, something catches his eye, a shocking sight he never thought he'd see again. One of his wife's friends is pregnant. His eyes widen in disbelief. It's been many years since Michael has seen a pregnant woman. In this world, where no child has been born for decades, this is something truly miraculous. But along with the shock comes fear. Michael knows what this means. Scientists and government forces have made public offers of huge sums of money for anyone who reports a pregnant woman. They want to take her away and use her for experiments, hoping to understand why she's different. Anyone discovered with such a woman would be in grave danger. Michael freezes for a moment, unable to believe what he's seeing. Then, everything makes sense. He remembers the promise his wife made him give before she died. Now he understands why she begged him to help her friends escape. She wanted him to protect this woman and her unborn child. Determined to honor that promise, Michael looks at the pregnant woman and tells her he will help her leave the country no matter what. He promises that he'll protect her at all costs. Without wasting time, Michael takes her and the others toward his friend Jack's house, hoping to find safety. They walk quietly through the woods, moving quickly to avoid being seen. But as they approach the house, Michael's heart drops. From a distance, he sees Jack's place surrounded by armed gangsters. The men are shouting, firing guns, and stealing everything in sight. Michael stands still, frozen in disbelief. Then, before his eyes, he sees his friend Jack being shot. The sight of his only friend dying breaks him completely. Anger burns inside him like fire. He wants to rush in and fight, to make them pay for what they did. But when he looks at the frightened pregnant woman beside him, he realizes that if he acts on his rage, he'll put her life in danger. Michael takes a deep breath, swallowing his anger. He promises himself that one day he will avenge his friend, but not now. Now, he must protect the woman and her unborn child. As they drive away, Michael keeps his eyes forward, determined to keep them safe. They travel for hours until, suddenly, flashing lights appear behind them. Police vehicles block the road, surrounding their car. The officers demand to know who they are and where they're going. Michael tries to stay calm, explaining they're just travelers, but the police don't believe him. They arrest all of them and take them to a refugee camp, a dark, crowded place filled with frightened people and armed guards. Inside the camp, Michael knows they must be careful. If anyone discovers that Miriam, the pregnant woman, is expecting, she'll be taken away immediately. To protect her, he covers her belly with layers of cloth and tells her to stay quiet. Her friend, Martha, also helps to keep her hidden. Together, they try to blend in among the refugees. After hours of waiting, they're finally given a small room to rest in. But that same night, something unexpected happens. Miriam suddenly feels sharp pain, her water breaks. Panic fills the room. Michael knows there's no time to waste. He quickly helps her lie down and prepares to assist her. With no doctors or nurses around, Michael does everything himself. After a long struggle, Miriam gives birth to a baby girl, a child so beautiful it brings tears to Michael's eyes. In a world that had lost all hope, this tiny baby represents a miracle. Miriam holds her daughter close, overwhelmed with joy and fear. They know they must keep the baby quiet. If anyone hears her cry, they'll be discovered. The government would take the baby away and perform experiments, and they'd never see her again. So Miriam wraps the baby in blankets, holding her close and praying no one will hear. The next morning, Michael knows they must escape the camp. Staying there means certain danger. But just as they're about to leave, chaos erupts outside. Explosions echo through the city. The war has reached the camp. Gunfire rains down as soldiers and rebels clash in the streets. Michael realizes it's too dangerous to travel on foot. Still, he refuses to give up. He spots a small boat near the shore and quickly leads Miriam and the baby toward it. Bullets whiz past them as they run, but somehow they make it. Michael jumps onto the boat, helping Miriam and the baby aboard. He begins rowing as fast as he can, moving away from the burning city. The sound of gunfire fades behind them. Finally, they are surrounded by silence and the gentle splash of water. Miriam, holding her newborn tightly, looks around in fear. Michael looks back at her with a calm smile and says, "You're safe now. Don't be afraid." He assures her that a large ship is on its way to rescue them and take them to another country where they'll be safe and free. But just as Michael speaks those comforting words, something terrible happens. He feels a sudden sharp pain. Looking down, he notices blood spreading across his shirt. He realizes he was hit by a stray bullet during the escape. His vision starts to blur, but he forces himself to stay strong. Miriam sees his pale face and begs him to stay awake, but he gently shakes his head. With a weak smile, Michael tells her that he's happy. Happy because he managed to keep his promise and save her and her baby. His eyes slowly close, and he takes his final breath as the boat drifts forward. Tears stream down Miriam's face. She holds the baby close and whispers through her sobs that she'll name her daughter after Michael, the man who sacrificed everything for them. Moments later, as the sun rises over the horizon, Miriam looks up and gasps. A massive ship appears in the distance, the same ship she had been told about. It sails closer, its crew spotting the small boat with a woman and a child inside. In the final moments, the screen reveals that scientists later began studying Miriam and her child, not to harm them, but to learn how she gave birth when no one else could. Thanks to that research, the world slowly began to heal. Years later, women around the globe started giving birth again. The cries of babies filled homes, hospitals, and streets once more. Humanity finally had hope for a new beginning. And just like that, the dark days ended, and the world was reborn. Dear viewers, that was the story of Children of Men, a powerful film that reminds us that even in the darkest times, hope can still be born. What did you think of this movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more amazing movie recaps like this one. Until next time, stay safe and stay tuned.